Spurs boss Ange Postecoglou talking about the January transfer window. He has stated we are not letting anyone go at this point. Goalkeeper Vicario is back training at Hotspur Way, having posted a number of pictures on social media. The Sun newspaper have just stated that Spurs have just submitted a £1 million bid for a 17-year-old striker, but has been rejected. Reports in Italy are stating that Spurs want to sign Davide Frattesi from Inter Milan, and Spurs are willing to offer €32 million. And the club have just advertised 3 roles, wanting a whole new medical team. Welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all keeping well. This is another edition of Tottenham News, where I'll be going through all of the latest Spurs news, rumours and reports. If you're watching this on YouTube, please hit that subscribe button, like, share and comment below. And if you're listening to this on an audio platform, please hit that follow button and leave a review if you can. And if you can vote for us, the voting is open now just for a couple more days. We have been shortlisted at the Sports Podcast Awards in the category Best Team Podcast. Your support will be really, really appreciated. So let's start by talking about Tottenham Hotspur boss Ange Postecoglou. He had his press conference ahead of the Tamworth game, which of course takes place on Sunday, 12:30pm kickoff at the Lamb Ground. Now, he had his press conference on Friday. An embargoed section was then released at 10:30pm UK time, and another embargoed section has just been released Saturday, 10:30pm UK time, where Ange Postecoglou has confirmed we are not letting anyone go at this point. This is what he had to say.
And he's played him since.
Yeah.
Him since. I mean, what's his reaction been since that particular performance?
Yeah, look, again, like I said, it was feedback. It was, what I honestly felt about that day. But I think he's made an impact. I think even on the weekend when he came on, he's got certain attributes that Timo's got. Can hurt any team. You saw that on the weekend. He's got a real turn of pace we've needed that in games at times, particularly late in games. But look, his attitude has never been a problem in terms of the way he trains or the way he's going about things. Like I said, I felt that day, particularly in the situation we were in, and him being a senior player, I thought he could have contributed more. But I think since then he's made an impact as we've wanted to, and like I said, there's certainly been never any problems with his attitude. Yeah, look, the last thing I want is losing another player at the moment, mate. I think the other night after sort of Rodrigo went off, we had 11 first-team players out. No, we're not letting anyone go at this point.
Tottenham Hotspur goalkeeper Vicario took to Instagram on Saturday afternoon, and he published a number of pictures of him training at Hotspur Way, and he said, being on the sideline and not being able to help my teammates has been hard. Happy to be back on the training pitch and looking forward to being back with the boys. Thank you for all of your support. Now, a report has just been published by the Sun newspaper, and they have stated that Tottenham Hotspur and Celtic both want to sign striker Mason Melia. The 17-year-old currently plays at St Patrick's Athletic, and Spurs have placed a bid for the striker of around £1 million, but it was rejected. Tottenham are still interested and are now thinking about making another bid because the interest is strong. Reports in Italy are stating that Spurs are about to offer around €32 million for Davide Frattesi. The Inter Milan midfielder is open to a move to Tottenham as he wants to come and play in the Premier League. But first, the clubs need to find an agreement on the price. Now, on Sunday, Tottenham Hotspur travelled to the Lamb Ground, Tamworth, to play non-league Tamworth, 12:30pm kickoff. Now, the FA Cup fourth round draw will take place on Sunday following the Arsenal v Manchester United game. The draw will be conducted at around 5pm. Now, Tamworth or Tottenham will be ball number 17. Now, on Saturday, a number of League One, League Two and National League games were postponed due to weather conditions, and Tamworth Football Club actually announced that there was an urgent call for the Tamworth fans to go and help the Lamb Ground to sweep and salt the open terraces at the ground, including the away section. Now, due to the injury crisis at Tottenham Hotspur right now, the club are recruiting and have posted 3 roles online. They are after the following: first team performance rehabilitation coach, head of men's medicine, and the third one is first team rehabilitation physiotherapist. Tottenham Hotspur Football Club have just confirmed that Sunday's Women's FA Cup fixture against Everton has been postponed due to a frozen pitch. They have stated a pitch inspection took place on Saturday afternoon following freezing conditions, and the decision has been made ahead of our trip to Merseyside. Further information about the rearrangement of the game will be confirmed in due course. Another game that was postponed due to weather conditions was the Under-18 Premier League fixture away at Arsenal. The Under-18s were due to face Arsenal on Saturday morning at the Arsenal training ground. On Friday evening, the Tottenham Hotspur development side were in action. The under-21s lost 2-1 away at Derby County in Premier League 2. Ajayi put Spurs 1-0 up after 16 minutes. Derby then got an equaliser just before half-time, and then they scored their winner in the 60th minute. Now, my thoughts on everything in this episode. Let's start by talking about Ange Postecoglou's comments, and I'm not at all surprised. I actually said this on a podcast the other day. At this point, how can we let any players go? It looked like an absolute dead cert that Sergio Reguilon was going to leave because, of course, his contract is up in the summer, and Spurs would have cashed in on Sergio Reguilon in this window. But how on earth can we let him go when you've got the likes of Ben Davies still out and Destiny Udogie still out? So Sergio Reguilon, I wouldn't be at all surprised to see him get minutes at Tamworth on Sunday. So, of course, we've got to keep him. Ange has already come out and said that Dorrington, they're going to try and find a loan for him in January. But when he says we're not letting anyone go at this point, I think he actually means that we're not going to let any first-team players out the door. Although Dorrington has been a part of the first-team squad, of course, he has only had limited minutes in a Spurs shirt in the Premier League, and that was when he made his debut against Southampton at the end of 2024. So I would still expect Dorrington to go out the door on loan, but anyone else, as far as permanent transfers are concerned, absolutely not. And I'm not at all surprised. Vicario is back in training. Wow, what a shock that is. He is back super early at Hotspur Way training because obviously he has just seen Antonin Kinski given Tottenham Hotspur a superb performance on his debut on Wednesday, and he must feel, I've got to be back. As soon as Kinski signed, Vicario took to Instagram again, and suddenly he was walking without crutches and a protective boot. So obviously he wants to get back, and he wants that number 1 spot. And he has probably thought that Kinski, is going to fight him for that number 1 spot. So I love that fighting spirit. I just hope that Vicario doesn't rush back. And, if we see him in a Spurs shirt in the near future, I just hope that he doesn't rush back and get another injury again, which may keep him out longer. So, and that brings me on to talk about the club advertising 3 roles for new medical staff. Of course, it has been widely reported. Ange Postecoglou has spoken about this at length a number of times in various press conferences in the last, 12 months or so. They have changed a lot of staff, and it looks like they are changing the staff again. That is quite big, to change 3 members of staff in your medical team. I think that says a lot. But of course, we have had a lot of injuries, and I feel like Ange Postecoglou is extremely frustrated. So there must be a lot going on behind the scenes in that department. Now, Spurs apparently have put a bid in for 17-year-old striker Mason Melia, and of course a lot of us won't know anything about this 17-year-old striker who plays for St Patrick's Athletic, but Tottenham Hotspur are very, very heavy on data. Of course, we know Johan Lange is very heavy on data, and that is how they are identifying a lot of their players. A lot of players that come to Tottenham have been identified by, fantastic data. So I don't think that this would be a first-team signing if it does happen. Of course, the bid has been turned down. It'll be interesting now to see whether Spurs go back and place a bigger offer to get the player in. And I've no doubt at all that he will come into the development side, the under-21s. Very similar to what happened with Will Lancashire, because Will Lancashire was purchased from Sheffield United, and it is very, very common. Not only Tottenham, all of the top teams seem to do this now. They buy players, really good young talents, and then put them into their development side, such as the under-21s, and then of course they hope they will grow, and then they move them into the first team. So although we are linked with this player having put a bid in of £1 million, he wouldn't be going anywhere near the first team squad. It will be an under-21 signing, and then hopefully he will progress to the first team. Now, reports in Italy, and I've seen this before in the last couple of days, that Spurs are interested in Davide Frattesi. It'd be an interesting one to see whether that happens. Very, very good feedback on him. His stats look really good as well. Hard-working player, both offensively and defensively, and from what I've read about him, sounds very, very good. But of course, as we all know, everyone can have a great show reel, everyone can have really good reports about them, but as I said, it's all about data, and I don't think Johan Lange or Tottenham now will go after players without having all of those facts, stats, and superb data behind them. But there's a long way to go in this January transfer window, but as I always say in these Tottenham news updates and the transfer news updates, Ange needs help. We need players back as soon as possible. The Tamworth game is going to be interesting. Of course, I'll be making my way up to Tamworth early Sunday morning for the 12:30pm kickoff. Let's hope it does go ahead. Although they do have an artificial 3G pitch, a lot of games on Saturday were postponed in League One, League Two, and the National League. So fingers crossed that the game does actually go ahead, and then we are in the draw. We don't want to see Tamworth or Tottenham. We want to see Tottenham in the draw for the fourth round, and let's hope that we get a home draw if we're in the draw. Fingers crossed. I love the FA Cup, by the way. 1991 was the last time we won the FA Cup, 34 years ago. That is an unbelievable, ridiculous stat. Tottenham need to put that right at some point, and I would love to see Tottenham Hotspur win the FA Cup this year. Thanks for watching, and thanks for listening. I hope you enjoyed it. If you're watching this on YouTube, please hit that subscribe button, like, share, and comment below. And if you're listening to this on an audio platform, please do that follow button and leave a review if you can. And remember, if you can vote for us at the Sports Podcast Awards, all of the details are below. Have a great weekend, and come on, you Spurs.